I'm seeing the benefit of taking this approach. Ugh, I do not want to do this. This is a lot of stuff. Oh my gosh. To this day, I've decluttered over 80% of my house, and I am still learning these difficult lessons and doing a lot of this hard work.
A palace of gold, gold, gold. A palace of gold, 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 gold.
Well, hey everyone, it's Natalie. So glad you stopped by my channel for today's video. We're gonna do a huge closet declutter today. This is another one in my Messy to Minimal series where I've gone through every nook and cranny of this house, and we've been able to get rid of over 80% of our family's stuff, and we've adopted family minimalism for this household. We've lost track by this point. We're not really counting the number of things that we get rid of anymore because now it's much more about maintaining our spaces and continuing to learn more about having a simplified lifestyle or a minimalist home. So today it's all about my clothing, and honestly, I kind of don't want to do this. I'm not in the mood for decluttering right now. I have some negative emotions surrounding my clothing specifically, so if you're feeling that way, if you go through that, you are not alone. I'll talk more about that later, but I thought, you know what, a good way to give myself some motivation is maybe to get out of this decluttering rut that I'm in with my wardrobe. I thought I would try someone else's method of decluttering just to give myself sort of a challenge and to make it interesting and fun. And so shout out to Dawn from The Minimal Mom. She made a video earlier this year, which was actually a collab I was a part of, but it's so inspiring and it's such a different approach to decluttering your clothing. She does this sort of reverse decluttering method, which I'm going to show you as I attempt it myself, and I thought it would be fun to give it a try. So give this video a thumbs up if you enjoy it while you're watching it. Don't forget to subscribe and turn the bell button on if you want to see videos from me in the future. And if you haven't seen any of the other videos in my Messy to Minimal series, I will leave that playlist linked in the description box so you can check it out and get tons of encouragement and motivation if you have some spaces to declutter. And if you have seen some of those videos, then drop this emoji in the comments so that I can say hi to you guys. But right now it's time to roll up our sleeves and get started on this closet. Let me give you a little tour of what it's looking like right now. So this is what my closet is looking like right now. I've got some travel bags and stuff. We just got home from our family road trip beach vacation, so I have some stuff to tidy up there. Also have some sand on the top of my dresser. But today we are focusing on clothing mainly. I have clothing hanging here. I have some clothing that I store in some of these drawers, and then I have my entire shoe collection on these shelves. I also have a bin of seasonal clothing that I store underneath my bed, where I keep my lightest of light clothing and my heaviest of heavy clothing depending on what season we're in. And if you saw my spring closet clean out video that I did a few months ago, then you saw me put together the start of a capsule wardrobe, and I was trying that whole method out and it worked great for me for the spring months. But as the weather got hotter, we got random really hot weeks for here in the Seattle area, I started to grab things from my seasonal bin, realized a lot of it didn't fit me anymore, which was a bummer. And then I realized that I had to go out and find things that actually fit me, but I hate clothing shopping. I hate it so much. So I have some negative feelings going on right now. I have too many pieces of clothing. I would love to put together sort of a capsule wardrobe for the summertime, but I want to try Dawn's method of going through everything. So my drawers right now, they still have some heavy clothing in there that I picked out for the springtime, but I've brought some lighter pieces in there, so I just have too much, and there's still several pieces in here that just don't fit me anymore. And something that Dawn said in that video specifically was, I deserve to have clothing that fits me now. I do not deserve to have clothing hanging in my closet, stuffed in my drawers that I'm hoping to fit into again, that is just sitting there screaming at me, mocking me for not being able to fit into that. It's tough enough to go through body changes as a woman especially, and as a mom with postpartum stuff or with chronic health issues that I deal with, to then have the clothing that I no longer fit sitting there mocking me. So I deserve to have clothing that fits. So I'm going to be looking for fit. I'm going to be looking for comfort and how well I can pair things together so that I have as few pieces as possible while still being able to put together several different outfits for several different occasions. So instead of pulling every single thing out of my closet like I normally do, I'm going to try Dawn's method, where I go through the pieces first, grab the things that I would wear in a week, and build out a capsule wardrobe of sorts here on my bed, and then everything that's left, really take a good look at it and have it kind of be the barometer for what needs to go. This is a reverse decluttering sort of method, and I'm really excited to try it because I think for me, in sort of the emotional state that I'm in, it could be really helpful to help me make some decisions and to further simplify in this space. And at the end of the day, I want to have pieces in here that fit, that are comfortable, and I don't want to have stuff spilling out of my drawers or busting through my hangers. And I would really like to eliminate my seasonal bin underneath my bed. I'm gonna try to get rid of enough to where I can have every piece of clothing that I own fit comfortably in this closet and not take up any space under my bed. My boys are unloading the dishwasher out there, so you're gonna hear some clanking around. But I've already gone through my drawers, and already I'm starting to feel that encouragement, like that sparkly sort of decluttering feeling. Am I weird? Does anyone else feel that way? Like I went into this going, ugh, I do not want to do this, and now I'm feeling like, okay, I can do this. I've already set some things out on my bed. It's pretty much like 3 of each category is what I'm finding the trend is here. So I went through the tops and the bottoms, and now I'm gonna go through the stuff that is hanging up. Typically the stuff in my drawers is my everyday clothing that I would pair sometimes with something that's hanging. These are nicer pieces. These are when I'm like really trying to put an outfit together for church, or if I'm doing like a sit down video and want a cute top on, that sort of thing. So now I'm gonna go through what I've got going on here and see what else I pull out that I truly wear and truly enjoy. Okay, so as you guys have seen, I've gone through my drawers and my hanging clothing. There's still a lot left in my drawers and still a lot left on the hangers, but I do have quite the collection going on my bed. I will take you through these pieces in a moment. First, I'm gonna now pull my seasonal bin out from under my bed and be brutally honest about what's in there and truly like check in with myself. Does this fit? So I might be trying some stuff on off camera, and if it does, am I truly gonna wear this? And doing my best to eliminate that whole seasonal bin. I might not be able to. I don't know. Can you tell my confidence isn't really high right now? So I'm gonna pull that seasonal bin out and see what I find. And Dawn was talking about this in her video, how when you find something and you think, oh yeah, I would wear this, but you already have enough set out in like your little capsule, start weighing it against each other. Like, would I wear this more than the one that I already picked? And if the answer is yes, then kind of swap it out, or see where you can make little swaps and changes throughout what you are already setting out for yourself. Everything is tentative, it's fluid as I continue to find things, and I'm seeing the benefit of taking this approach because you're weighing the pieces against each other, not necessarily your own emotions. And I appreciate that. I'm really appreciating this right now. So I'm gonna grab that bin and we're gonna go through it. Okay. As you can see, there is too much stuff in here. It's pretty stuffed. I'm gonna put it over here. Okay, that was much easier than I expected. Unfortunately, it was easy because the majority of the items in that seasonal bin just don't fit anymore. Rest in peace. That makes the decision easy. Honestly, when you go off of fit, does it actually fit, or am I squeezing myself into it, or is it just a huge, you know, potato sack that I'm wearing? Is it way too big? That's a really easy parameter to go off of. Again, we're not taking like emotional decisions here. We're not saying, do I like this? Does this spark joy? We're saying, does it fit, and will I actually wear it? So what I'm gonna do now, I've got this stuff on my bed that I'm potentially keeping. I've kind of put together this capsule. I'm going to take the rest of the stuff out of these drawers and off the hangers so that I am working with a clean slate as I put the stuff that I have on my bed back into here. This is a lot of stuff. Oh my gosh. So the last thing I have to do here is declutter my shoes, which I'm not going to do the reverse decluttering method because I actually pretty much know I can just pick out a couple of things that I know I'm not going to wear. When I have a bigger collection like my clothing, I think that method is great, but it's just not necessary for what I've got going on here. So I'm going to do this really quick. I've gone through everything: shoes, accessories, bags, socks and underwear. I didn't show the underwear because I don't show that on my channel. But oh my gosh, this pile is so much more massive than I was expecting. And I'm getting a little emotional here, and I'm going to try to keep it together because, I mean, wah wah. A lot of what is in this pile, it doesn't represent new purchases that I've made. Like the last time I decluttered until now, I have bought 2 pairs of shorts, a swimsuit, and a few tops, like 3 or 4 max. So we're not dealing with like an over purchasing sort of situation here, like I have in the past when I've looked at the pile of clothing that I have, stuff that I hadn't even worn, stuff that was new with tags. A lot of this stuff is older things that I have had trouble letting go of because I've just been in denial that my body has changed. And I don't mean to like harp on this subject, but I am a little emotional because this pile up here, it really represents years of physical and emotional pain. And I'm not trying to be dramatic because you know what, at the end of the day, it's just clothing, it's just textiles that we cover our bodies with. But I know I'm not alone in feeling the almost grief for moving on from stuff that just no longer fits. A lot of what doesn't fit is because I've actually become healthier. And I need to remind myself of that and not just be sad that I don't fit into these clothes anymore, but be grateful that that size no longer represents me in a very unhealthy state. I am not going to go into my health history right now with you guys, but I've been through some pretty tough, serious health issues in the last 7 to 10 years of my life, and it's just been in the last couple of years that my body has become more healthy, and I've been able to put on healthy weight, and I've been able to put on healthy muscle and learn how to have a really good relationship with food and not to be scared of it, because I was scared of it before because everything I ate made me so ill. So I've been praying through this process, and I know not everyone who watches my channels like from the same background as me. Like we don't necessarily all share the same faith or beliefs, but for me, I can only speak about like my own experience. For me, this is kind of a spiritual process because it is a lot of heart work going into moving on from things that just are no longer fitting and serving me. And that is kind of tough because then you also have that buyer's remorse of, oh, I bought this cute dress thinking it would look adorable. Well, yeah, it might have looked adorable on my sickly body, but now that I'm healthier, it doesn't fit anymore. And it's just time to ditch that buyer's remorse and move on. That whole like luxury loss. If you bought a more expensive item but it doesn't actually work anymore, you think of how much you spent on it and you keep it thinking that it's somehow going to fulfill a purpose, but letting it go actually does more good in your life and it brings more peace than holding on to it and feeling guilty about it. And that's something that I've talked about so much in my videos, but I am still learning it. To this day, I've decluttered over 80% of my house, and I am still learning these difficult lessons and doing a lot of this hard work. So I just wanted to take a moment to encourage you guys that you're not alone if this is difficult for you too. So I'm going to throw everything into this big bag. Most of this clothing is perfectly good. It's beautiful. Like, it would be great to donate it. It would bless someone else. I always let my mom and my sisters go through my clothing before I send it off to a donation center, and so I'm keeping that in mind while I package it all up here. I ended up being able to part with a bunch of shoes as well that I was holding on to, saying they were seasonal, but I didn't actually end up wearing them, and I just kept holding on to them. And so today was a day where Natalie got really honest with herself, and I'm really liking the end result here. So I'm going to package this all up and then show you what I ended up keeping. Also, I should say, while I'm packaging this up, I'm going to take a tally. I'm going to count how many things I'm parting with, because I know how many things I'm keeping, and I'll tell you that in a bit. But I just kind of want to see what that ratio is. That's kind of what I always do when I do these decluttering or messy to minimal videos. It's been a while since I did it, so I'm going to do that now just to see how much I'm getting rid of.
Day and night you're struggling. Forget the past and make some new plans. Don't blame yourself under the circumstances. Tomorrow you'll get another chance. Stop your grieving, you need to start healing. Where are the loving words? Where have all your sweet dreams gone? Wipe that frown off your face. When all is done, you'll be a winner. Don't lose yourself under the weight. When all is done, you'll be a winner.
All right, are you ready to see what I've chosen to keep? This is the sum total of my clothing collection. Let's go top to bottom. We'll start with shoes. One pair of black boots, one pair of brown boots, a short pair of nude heels, a tall pair of nude heels, a short pair of black heels, a tall pair of black heels, a pair of outdoor sandals, a pair of little strappy sandals, nude flats, black flats. I have nude short sneakers, black short sneakers, creamy nude Adidas, black Adidas. That is it as far as my shoes go, except for one pair of Hunter rain boots that I keep out in the garage and my one pair of Birkenstocks that I wear everywhere. I freed up a few hangers here, so I'm gonna go bring those out to the garage, but this is my hanging clothing. I have my basic white button-up shirt from Carly Jean Los Angeles. I've showed that before. My striped no collar button-up shirt from Maurice's, my checkered rails button-up sort of linen shirt, and then this is a black version of this white shirt here. Then I have a couple of blouses, this pretty floral one, this mauve-y one. I have this blouse that I chose to hang back up for the fall and winter time, my full-length Love Appella stretchy jersey jumpsuit that I wear all the time. And as far as dresses go, I have one swing dress, tank style, this baby doll t-shirt dress. I have this maxi dress from Carly Jean Los Angeles in sort of like this sandy color. This is their breezy dress. I have one skirt that I wear. This is like a wraparound skirt. I have this beachy sort of loose knit cardigan. These two cardigans that are the same except different colors. I have my gray express cardigan that I've had for years and years, and one black cardigan. Then as far as nicer clothing goes, I have this Lush brand crepey dress. It's really, really pretty. I actually thrifted this a few months ago and have worn that a few times. I have a couple of these pretty flowy kimonos that I like to layer over dresses. And then I have my nude, like sand tan colored blazer. I have this nice floor length dress. I wore this to my sister's wedding. I have this really formal dress, like this glitzy, sparkly beaded dress. And I have a velvet, like this green emerald velvet dress for like a Christmas party or something fancy in the winter time. So that's all my hanging clothing. And here is how I've decided to arrange my drawers now. Before, I had this top drawer be all tops that were in season, and I had this lower drawer be all bottoms that were in season, and then I was storing the out of season clothing. But I've changed this up now that I have all of this room and have decluttered so much out. This is my full in-season wardrobe in this top drawer. We have t-shirts, tanks, shorts, and long pants. Then I have swimwear here, and these are like foundational items, like a couple of slim bodysuits and like camel soles, that sort of thing. And if my underwear drawer was deep enough, I would actually store it there, but it's not. And then this drawer, instead of having just pants be here, I have my off-season clothing. Heavy sweaters, long sleeve shirts, jeans that I wear in the fall and winter, and then I have beanies. This little drawer right here I made for those specialty shirts that are like for specific holidays. So I have a pumpkin pattern shirt. I wear this when we carve pumpkins. And another example, I have my Santa Claus, vintage Santa Claus face shirt that I wear during the Christmas time that I don't need to have in my collection right now. It's only for a very specific time, but I love having those on hand. The number doesn't really matter to me, but for those of you who it does matter to, and you're curious, right there, shoes, all the hanging clothes, all the clothes in the drawers that I've shown you so far, that's 80 pieces total. And then if we count what I have in my workout slash loungewear drawer, 3 shirts, 3 pants, so there's 6 right there, and then we have 3 pieces of pajama clothing, so there's 9 there, and then I have 2 sweatshirts, and I have 2 pairs of lounge pants, so there's 16, 17. 97 pieces of clothing and shoes. That includes loungewear, workout wear. I'm not including my bras and underwear, but I'll let you know I have 4 bras, 2 black, 2 nude, and a handful of pairs of underwear to get me through the week. So not counting those, but that is 100 pieces roughly, in case I missed something, but I really don't think I did. I guess if we count purses and travel bags, because I actually did end up getting rid of some purses and travel bags, I have 2 purses and 1 travel bag. That makes it 100 pieces, and that is also including the clothing that I'm wearing right now. So 100 pieces of clothing for 365 days, all fitting in my closet. 100 pieces there, 100 and what was that, 54 pieces that I'm getting rid of. So getting rid of over half of the clothing that I own. And again, not much of that was new purchases. This is going back years and years. And there were just a few pieces that I couldn't bear to part with, but I'm not currently wearing. And I just want to tell you guys that it is okay to have just a little collection of maybe items, things that you might fit into, especially if you're going through something like pregnancy or postpartum where you know that your size is going to change. I have a couple of dearly loved dresses that I've had for years. This black maxi dress with these cute little medallions on it. I've gotten too busty for it right now, but usually whenever I slim down, one of the first things to go are my boobs. They're like, I volunteer as tribute. So I might fit into that at some point. I have this cute little blue dress that I've worn for years that I love, and when it fits me, man, it's like the best piece I own. And so I'm gonna hold on to that, a couple of dresses and this one cardigan that I actually might bring into my fall wardrobe. It's just not hot enough for me to really put it to the test. It's kind of new, and so I want to just hold that at bay. It's my little like quarantine bin, if you will, and this also follows Dawn's method. Sometimes you can't just get rid of something and you can't justify keeping it at the same time, so I limited myself to having anything that was like a maybe, which I really try to avoid. I limited it to this size bin. This is easy for me to store. I can find a place for this, maybe in that spot where I had my seasonal bin, and I can dive back into it, and chances are it will be really clear to me what I'm going to keep and what actually does need to go. All in all, I would say that was a good couple of hours work. I feel very happy with the result. Just sitting here on my bed looking into a closet that has room to breathe is the best feeling. I'm telling you guys, I always enjoy that whenever I do a declutter, but there's this extra peace of mind with knowing that that huge bin of clothing isn't sitting under my bed. I don't know what it is about the hidden spaces or like those incognito spots in our house where we secretly shove things that really bring anxiety. And if you're already dealing with negative feelings or anxiety surrounding your clothing, specifically keeping clothing that you know doesn't fit you is sort of just a waste of your mental energy, and that's what I'm speaking from experience. That's what I have experienced. Now that small bin of things, they're just slightly like they're on the edge of not fitting anymore, and I know I'm not going to reach for them like really soon, so I'm just gonna wait and see with those. So if no one has given you permission yet, here it is. This might be the permission that you need to just say goodbye to some things that are not serving you, whether it's in your clothing collection or in any other spot in your house. And here's also a bit of permission to hold on to a couple of things that might work in the future. It's okay to do that. I held on to a couple of maternity pieces for a few years until it was obvious that they could serve other people better than me. And then if I happen to get pregnant again, which is not in the plan, if I did, those things are relatively easy to replace. And I will have gone this many years with not having to store those items, and those things are actually now serving my sisters, they're serving a couple of friends of mine, and they're getting used and enjoyed. So you have to weigh it in your own life. You have to see what makes sense for you and what your priorities are. And if you see a video telling you dogmatically to get rid of XYZ because of XYZ, it might not apply to your life. So do what works for you, and I am so glad that Dawn's method worked for me today. That was such a blessing, and it was such an encouragement. So again, I have her video linked in the description box. If you haven't checked out her channel yet, she totally deserves to have way more people over there supporting her and learning and being blessed by her content as much as I have learned and have been blessed by it. If there is someone else that has a method of decluttering or organizing that you would like me to try in another area of my home, let me know. Give those suggestions in the comments. Is there someone's method that you would like to see me try in a messy to minimal video? video. I think this could be a fun little bunny trail off my Messy to Minimal series, trying other people's methods, because it's great to make new discoveries. And I think that if you are trying to completely overhaul your wardrobe and you're just overwhelmed by the amount of stuff that you have, and you have emotions involved and you kind of want to get away from those, that doing Dawn's method of reverse decluttering is so good. So I hope you enjoyed today's video. Thanks for sticking around, a long one. Give it a thumbs up if you did enjoy it. Share it with a friend who might need some decluttering encouragement, and be sure to subscribe and turn your bell button on so you don't miss future videos from me. If you've stuck around this long, then thank you so much. Drop this emoji so that I can personally thank you in the comments for sticking around such a long video. But I hope you're having a wonderful day wherever you are. Thanks for spending a little part of it with me here on my channel, and I'll catch you later.